everyone, welcome to another episode of dudewutpodcast. My name's Harry Dowling, and as always, I'm joined with my best friend and co-host, Mr. Tomo Tomlinson. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How have you been?
I'm alright, thanks, mate. I'm alright. How's your week been, bro?
It's been good. It's been mostly working again, as always.
Standard.
But other than that, just chilling out usually. Today I did my neighbour's lawn.
Yeah.
That was quite
Good. Man, good
yeah,
man.
yeah. Well, I didn't do the lawn. I did getting rid of certain parts of like the weed, loads of different weeds and just overgrow.
Nice.
So that was
Good
quite
man.
good.
Helping out the neighbour, you say?
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm a
bad.
91-year-old neighbour.
Oh, fair enough.
So it's pretty good.
Get paid for it?
Yeah.
Yes, nice, mate. No, I haven't been up to that much, although I did have my first vaccine jab today.
Nice.
I'm feeling fine, everything's all good. Did have a bit of a headache afterwards, and my arm is numb, or not numb, it's like dead, like I got punched. But
I still
fine, man.
I still need to book mine.
Yeah, man, gotta go. Have you had the message?
Yeah, I had the message.
Oh, really?
About the age, like say because of my age, I can book a vaccine
get on
now.
That, bro.
Problem is, the nearest one was like I think it said it was like 10 miles away. I was like, really?
Mine was pretty far. I was at work, and they said like I could go to it, and I was thinking it'd be pretty close, but now it's far.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Anyway, man, that's enough about us.
Yeah.
We've got a special guest with us here today.
Oh yeah.
He's a good friend to both of us. He's one of the brothers from the group. He is Mr. Elliot Griffiths AKA Robbo. How you doing, man?
Yeah, good, thanks, dude. How you doing?
I'm alright, thanks, mate. I'm alright. It's good to see you, bro.
Yeah, good to see you too. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
That's all good, mate. Really happy to have you on the podcast, mate. Like, you know, we've been having chats recently about like movies and things like that, and yeah, man.
So I've heard good things.
What have you been up to recently? How's your week been, mate?
Yeah, pretty good. Just been spending a lot of time in the sun.
Oh yes, nice.
I've got a nice builder's tan going on.
Oh yeah.
But enjoying the weather. Yeah,
That's
been
good.
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Got my vaccine booked in for Wednesday.
Good man.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, nice. So there was something I was going to say to you actually. Did you hear? So a bit of backstory. Me and Robbo are pretty big Lord of the Rings fans. Like we talk about it quite a bit, and it's what sort of got us chatting again recently because we haven't seen each other for a while. Did you hear the new movie that got announced a couple days back?
No, nothing.
So they full on announced a new Lord of the Rings film set in the universe. It's going to be a prequel. It's basically going to focus on like the old king of Rohan, called a guy called Hammerhand.
Oh yeah.
And like Helm's
nice.
Deep and all that stuff. But then they said it's going to be an anime.
Okay.
And
a bit of a twist.
yeah, like you're smiling, like because I know you like anime sort of things.
Yeah, it could work, possibly.
Oh mate,
What are you thinking?
when I heard it, being a massive fan, I was buzzing. But then I was like, mate,
Yeah.
I just
Not a fan.
I just find it like I don't know, I can watch it like an animated film or something. I just can't get into it as much. But to be fair, being like about Lord of the Rings and that, like I will watch it. 100% will watch it.
Absolutely.
Definitely, like.
Yeah, thanks for telling me about it.
Yeah, man. I can't believe
Put
you
it
know.
on this, no.
Yeah, man.
Not so.
Other than that, this week it's been because as you might have guessed, like we don't actually always record these exactly like 1 week apart. Like sometimes we record them sort of a little bit in bulk. Like this week, it's been the E3 stuff for all the games. Have you guys watched any of it?
No.
No, I've heard about the game announcements, but
Yeah.
other than that, I didn't actually watch a lot other than the Battlefield.
I used to be like every year watch it, but nowadays if I do, I just watch like just the Xbox One. So I did watch that Xbox and Bethesda, being like Xbox boys. Are we all Xbox boys?
Yeah. Damn, definitely.
Being Xbox boys, you know, watching the Xbox One. So some pretty good games announced. Some things that like I was pretty looking forward to.
Forza Horizon 5 being free to Game Pass.
That's pretty good. Yeah, there was a lot of good Game Pass stuff on there.
Good.
There was a game announcement a Plague Tale something. A Plague Tale 2. I don't know if either of you guys played a Plague Tale. It's on Game Pass. It's really good.
I think I've seen it on there before.
It's like not quite an indie game, but it's like almost like a lower budget, like big game.
Yeah.
But no, it's worth playing. Definitely. And it's like a stealth apocalypse sort of
That's
thing.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's worth playing. It's good.
Nice.
Something else I just thought of. Rob, how's your car doing, mate?
Yeah, it's been 8 years and still not finished.
Whoa.
God damn. 8 years.
Yeah, man. Well, it was $3,000 to get it sprayed when I first got a quote, but now it's going to be more like 4.5.
Bring what more work he's doing to it, or
Wait, what was that? Sprayed?
Well, yeah, and the bodywork being done as well. Well, finished off. It's mostly finished.
have you gotten multiple different quotes though, or just one?
Just one.
You should try multiple.
Yeah, no, I should, but I haven't even got half the money yet.
You could probably get it for a lot cheaper. I feel like you could.
Yeah. No, I definitely need to do it. That's the next on my list, though.
For everyone at home, Robbo has had, for as long as I've known him, he's had a classic 1980.
1980.
1980.
Yeah,
A 1980
Yeah, man.
Mark III.
Yeah, Mark III, Ford Capri.
Yes, man.
Mm-hmm.
One of the coolest cars.
Yeah.
What was a litre again? 1.6 is it?
I think it's 1.4. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun memories in that car though.
Hell
Definitely.
yes.
Yeah.
And it was so like weird of you to buy like a crumbling classic car as your first car. But mate, like that thing, although at times it was definitely a death trap
Absolutely.
and like close calls, you know.
James Matty, our friend, refused to, like, about 5 minutes into the drive, he was like, no, take me home,
Yeah,
man.
I remember that.
Yeah. Wouldn't sit in it for more than 5 minutes.
Probably because, do you remember on that very short drive you did a very fast emergency brake, and he basically shat his pants. He was like, take me home.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was fully part of it. I remember you did an emergency stop once at about 80.
Well,
And everything, including your back seats, flew forward. I don't know how we didn't like go through the fucking windscreen or something, man.
yeah, there's no seatbelts in the back seats either, so.
No way, man.
But that's legal though, because of the age of the car.
Yeah, man. It's built
the amount of
modern.
times that Rob would be flying down. Not that we're promoting like dodgy driving, but Rob would be flying down like a rally driver and hit a bridge, like go over a bridge or something, and then like 3 of us in the back all like
Lifted.
catching air. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you know, some good times, man. Some crazy times.
Oh yes.
But, definitely a great car. Yeah, glad to hear it's getting on its way.
Yeah,
It's
no,
been a
no,
long
it's-
time.
Yeah, we've had a lot of
It's not
journeys.
going anywhere, but it's getting there slowly.
Yeah. We've had a lot of journeys in it. It's been pretty,
Yeah, definitely.
pretty interesting.
Definitely. So, it's time for everybody's favourite, my favourite bit of the podcast, because we get to drink a tasty beverage. It's time for this week's episode of What Are We Drinking?
What are we drinking?
So, I like it.
Hell
I like
yeah.
it. So, Robbo, for this part of the podcast, what we do is I basically buy a mystery beer. It can be one of my favourites that I'm trying to, show, or it can be one that I just thought looked cool. We're going to buy it, we're going to drink it, and we're just going to see what it's like. So, guys, I'm going to reach into the bag and I'm going to grab the mystery beer.
Let's do it.
Wait for it. No drum roll on the table. Today's mystery beer is Mad Goose
Oh.
by Purity. Is it Purity Ales or just Purity Brewing Co? So this is a pale ale, 4.2. Really nice.
Oh, it's won awards.
You have to see what you guys think. I
From
know.
Warwickshire.
Yeah, I know.
Very nice.
I don't know what you're drinking these days, Rob.
Coke usually. Water.
Oh, healthy boy, healthy
Yeah,
boy.
trying to be. Meditating quite a lot these days as well.
Fair play.
Nice.
Tomo had much to drink recently?
No, not really. Not since the last time, if I'm completely honest.
To be fair, sometimes after we do the podcast, because afterwards we keep going. I feel so done. I literally don't need to drink anything for a while after that. Anyway, guys, see what you think. Now I really like that.
Yeah, that's tasty.
I was like, this one isn't actually that bad.
You always say that. To start with, you say they're great, and then you say they're gross.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It has the initial taste. It's just quite. I just think it's a nice initial taste, but then when it settles in, it's like
it's smooth. It's got that. Alcohol flavour.
Yeah.
It's smooth. It's nice. There's a lot of it compared to we had that Stormtrooper and it was tiny.
Yeah.
Gone in a second. Although I found out that, as I said to Tom, I called him out on it. I found out that he fully didn't drink that beer that night.
I can explain.
And I found it, and it was full. And I thought, what the hell, man? You could have.
Well, it wasn't full. I had a bit from it.
2 sips, man. 2 sips.
I'll give you that. Yeah. But these days, it's like I'm not that much of a drinker though. These days,
mate. Except for when except for
here,
one night a week or whatnot, where you get out of it.
No, not at all.
What do you reckon then? What do you reckon, T? Is it clear?
Well, this time.
Would you buy it?
Absolutely not. Just because.
You wouldn't buy this?
No, just because if I had any style of alcohol, it wouldn't be a pale ale or any ale.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna keep choosing the ale.
Yeah, that's fine. But I mean, it's like it's not my go-to. Like.
So if you've been drinking healthy and that, and doing the healthy stuff, how is it? What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's tasty.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been quite a while since I've had a beer actually.
So this whole time while we've had this great sunshine, you haven't had a single beer outside in the sunshine?
Not two. Not
really?
One. Mm-hmm.
No, neither have I.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
You've been embracing that.
I've been finishing off a lot of times when there's a lot of beers left after the podcast.
Yeah.
I then spend about 2 days finishing those off because usually there's a lot of beers bought.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yay, nay.
Yay.
Yay from Rob. Nay from Tomo by the looks of him.
Nay.
Nah. Well, I like it.
2 against 1.
Yeah. It's all good.
Oh yeah, totally forgot to say, guys, we've signed up to this this website called Speakpipe, and basically what it allows you to do is send us in a voice message. It's like calling us up, but you don't actually have to call us. You just go on the website, you record your message, send it to us, and then we can hear it. So if you go to www.speakpipe.com/dudewutpodcast, capital D, capital P on the podcast, you can basically send us in a voice message, and if it's good, or suggest anything, ask us anything, or just send us one and we'll feature it. Basically, we'll play that out for you guys. So just let you guys know that. The point of the podcast, we usually watch a big piece of shit and talk about it. So Robbo came down today and we said, mate, we'd love you to bring a movie. What film did you bring? What did we watch, man?
I brought Wild Wild West with Will Smith and Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah. So I'd seen this one before. You told me you were going to do it and I was like, yes. Because, I've seen it probably a couple times actually.
Mm-hmm.
You seen it before, Tom?
Never. I've never seen it before, no.
Ever heard about it?
No. Genuinely.
Ever heard the
I've heard of the games, I think there's one game that was a Wild West, or at least it's just the genre. Obviously, I know, but it's just that film.
What about
never heard of
the absolute banger of a tune?
Mm-hmm.
What?
The Wild Wild West.
The one
song.
at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, that was.
You've heard of that?
No, I've never heard that before.
Mate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, never heard that before. It was the first time.
Will Smith greatest hits album.
It wasn't even that bad.
No.
I've never looked at his album.
No, it's good.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
Give us a rundown, man.
Okay, well, it's set in the Wild West, obviously. It's about a black guy and a white guy who are law agents of some kind, and somehow the president gets them to track down this supervillain and stop them in their classic duo ways.
That was beautiful, man. That was a beautiful rundown of that movie.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty much everything that happened in it, though. Like,
that was the whole film.
That literally was. So the film basically starts, and like there's this guy who's got this like big neck contraption thing on, and it plays like a bigger part later in the movie, but it's basically this like I don't know, it's like two bowls upside down.
Like big big woks or something. But
yeah, like around someone's neck.
More like a cone-ish shape.
And then like a blade gets shot at them, and which like perfectly slices
between
it. Like a dog collar.
Yeah,
for humans.
Like a big one.
Yeah.
So we thought that was like pretty cool. That's like the opening shot. But like straight away, in the intro, like the intro to the whole movie, it's playing this like cool like Western music. There's loads of cool imagery, and like a couple minutes into the film, you can see like what they're going for, which is this like really cool looking like fashion
James Bond type.
Yeah. If James Bond was like a Western.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that before.
No.
That's definitely what it is, isn't it? Like, Will Smith's character is a guy called what's his name?
James West.
James West, and like he's the most stylish dude, but he's like, you know, I mean, this is 1999. He's like 99, cool. You know, big coat, tiny little glasses. Like he definitely cool. Everyone in it is dressed really cool. Like straight away, basically, Will Smith's like thrown into some action or something. He's like in a water tower with his I don't know some lady. And the water tower gets. I wasn't actually paying attention. I didn't know whether someone shot the leg of it out.
No, I think there was some cart that reversed somehow into the legs of the water tower.
Okay.
Which then fell down.
Yeah. And then there's basically like a couple shots of Will Smith like sloshing around in this like tank as it tumbles down, which was like a pretty gnarly fall actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just a shot of him like sloshing, you know, as it's coming down.
Looks like having the time of his life.
Yeah, man. But we paused it, right? I paused it because there was full on Will Smith's dong.
Frame by frame.
At 5 minutes 29.
Yeah.
Dong.
Like, what the hell?
Not even like it was a couple of frames, you know. So full on dongs, right? And this film sort of stayed obsessed with them for the rest of it. Didn't it? There was loads of like dick jokes throughout this whole film.
It kept coming back.
Literally. So we were like, you know, maybe that was deliberate.
Yeah.
It was in this contract. Must be one dong shot. But yeah, so there's a scene where like they're all in this big party at the beginning, and you don't know who you know Will Smith's your sort of main character, but you don't know who the rest of the characters are yet. And our other like male lead character, who is like an agent guy, but he's played by Kevin Kline, I think the guy's name is. And he was in a fair few things. I just always got him confused when I was a kid, when I was younger and I was a kid watching this. I always thought that it was Colin Firth was in that role, but it's Kevin Kline, and
got quite a forgettable face, I think.
Yeah, definitely, like an every guy sort of, you know.
Absolutely.
But he's basically like in drag at this party.
Yeah, that's how he's introduced.
Yeah.
To everybody in the film.
And he's like seducing this guy who has this really gross like megaphone ear thing, like this
old time earpiece.
Yeah, basically, which he like drains out and it like dribbles down his shoulder.
That's gross.
Grin. But he's like seducing that guy, and what happens? Doesn't he go in a room with him, comes out, and then someone like calls out him for not being a lady or something, and then he like grabs him.
Oh
he's
yeah.
Like, hey, what kind of lady are you? And then to like defend her, this dude with the gross ear just whips a gun and just, without even looking really, just blasts him straight in the stomach. And like it's so out of nowhere, and it's sort of like that's what the comedy is like in this film, because it's like it is an action comedy.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's a lot of it that like doesn't land, which is why it's obviously got like a fairly shit score. I don't know what it is, probably like a 4 point something on IMDb. But yeah, the film is, you know, fairly funny, I think. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it's quite funny, to be honest.
Tomo said that he felt that you thought it felt very Men in Black.
Yeah, Men in Black. Yeah, it was just a scene of the two agents that were meeting with what was it, the president.
It's when they were like at the bureau or whatever.
Yeah,
It just seemed like, and also it's Will Smith.
Yeah,
and like,
that's why. Yeah,
when did Men in Black come out? Was it like 97 or something? So this came afterwards, you reckon? I guess we should. We should check it out. This movie's got a 4.9. I was fairly close. I thought it was 4.5.
Yeah.
But no, I reckon Men in Black was like 97. I reckon Men in Black's before 99. So like Will Smith's like established, because I reckon that film probably.
Yeah, it was a cash in.
Yeah, like Men in Black definitely like boosted him up.
You got 97, yeah.
Yeah, 97. So
2 years after his big break. Well, not really after.
There was a scene, I don't know. To be fair, like this film had some really cool dialogue in it. Some bits that were like really witty. Like there's a moment later on in the film where our main character, Will Smith's character, I can't remember his name, is having a chat with Kenneth Branagh, who plays the main villain, who is like a handicapped guy who's got like a steampunk, steam-powered
mobility.
Mobility.
Well, just a wheelchair.
They're having like a really good back and forth, and we were like hey, the whole way through, like laughing at it. And then there were other moments where the dialogue was so dull that I can't remember any of it.
Yeah.
Like there's chunks in it that I can't remember, and I don't know why people are doing certain things.
Yeah, because the bits that we were laughing at was just the funny camera angle that was permanently stuck on him, like when he was moving around in his wheelchair.
So that guy Kenneth Branagh, I don't know if you know, he's obviously done loads of stuff, done loads of directing.
Yeah.
He directed the first 2 Thor films.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I don't know what you think of them. They're often considered to be pretty not great.
Yeah, no, they're not my favourite Thor films.
Nah.
But
he was also in. Do you remember? He was in Harry Potter 2. He was like the new teacher, Lockhart.
That's the one. Yeah. I remember him.
He did loads of stuff. He's sort of doing this thing now where he just gets like old, like Poirot or Agatha Christie novels and turns them into like big screen films. So that's all he's been doing for the last few years. I've seen a couple of them. I'm not really into it, but I thought he was pretty good because he plays like a this guy's like super eccentric. He's like an ex like Confederate like commander or something who's bitter that they gave up during the war. So he's like sort of forming his own like army and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, oh, that's a pretty good performance. Definitely pretty good. There was a funny scene, and it's actually a scene that I remembered most from the film when I was thinking back at it, which is when they're in the car, they're in their like train, which by the way can do absolutely anything. It's like an Inspector Gadget train. They push a button and like things flip around and all sorts of stuff. They basically are like having this conversation over like whose boob is better. Do you remember that? Whose breast better?
Yeah.
When fake boobs were better.
Yeah. So Will Smith like calls out Kevin Kline's character because he's basically always, for some reason, he always wants to go into drag to do things undercover, and he's like calling him out, saying that his boobs like didn't feel real basically, and Kevin Kline's like, oh no, they're filled with like the best buckwheat or something, and Will Smith is like, what? And he's like, nah, pass that here. Goes over, pours it out, fills it with water, and then basically convinces Kevin Kline's character that like the water is the best way to go. But the whole thing is that the train driver guy is actually watching this from an angle which makes it look like they are genuinely like feeling each other's like tits basically, and that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Talking of like gadgets and things, basically the main character point about Kevin Kline's character is that he's like a master of like machinery. He can like build anything. He's got like Inspector Gadget stuff, I reckon.
That's almost true. The villain they were after as well.
Yeah.
With all the machinery that he had.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
the whole film had like a whole like steampunk sort of mechanical vibe to it.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Industrial
Yeah.
era sort of machinery.
The guys like gadgets were pretty sick. He had obviously Will Smith was like the guys with the guns, and the other guy was like the guy with the brains kind of thing. So he had like pen and paper that whip out from his sleeves and all sorts of stuff. And, ends up sort of at one point saving the day with like a tiny little pistol.
Coming up with bulletproof vests.
Yeah,
Chainmail.
Which is something we laughed at because there's a scene when Will Smith gets shot and like falls a crazy high distance onto the floor.
Oh yeah, it would have killed him.
Definitely.
Easily.
Well, at least left him paralysed.
Maybe about 30 feet.
Yeah, it was
straight
tall.
onto the back of his head.
Because as soon as that big giant mechanical spider appeared, it was like, what?
Yeah. But Will Smith basically falls, and you're thinking like, well, they want you to think, oh no, he's dead or whatnot. But because the film's so basic, you know that like the mechanic guy has made something for it, and he's basically like John Wick style lined his suit with bulletproof material, but that material is like inch thick chainmail.
It's huge.
So like
easily feel it.
How did he not?
How did he not know? Like swinging around and fighting and stuff. You've got a suit of armor on, dude. Like
because he mentioned in the previous scene he was saying like how he made adjustments to his wardrobe.
Yeah.
Because that was a good thing where you were thinking about it.
The knife in his shoe. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was cool.
Yeah, that was.
That was proper James Bond.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like what you said earlier, the spider. So this film is like fairly decent for the first half, I thought.
Yeah.
Like it
was interesting. It wasn't that bad.
Like it's a standardy sort of story. Like you said, you outlined it. They're basically just sent by the president to like take down the bad guy, and they're sort of doing that. But it's like a buddy cop, like a Lethal Weapon style. The other one doesn't like the other one's sort of comedy.
Yeah.
But they're forced to be together comedy, and it's getting sort of good. And then like the film takes like a massive dive when the main villain, who is also like a mechanic sort of creator, starts making more and more like elaborate robots and things.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, well, this is like a Western, and then all of a sudden there's like, like you said, huge spiders, like a 30-foot mechanical spider. There's like things that fly. He's got planes. He's got all sorts of stuff, and you're just sort of like, oh, nah, That combined with some janky CGI, but like 1999 CG was pretty good.
Yeah.
Except for a few shots.
Yeah. A lot of green screens.
They were the worst. The green screens were the worst.
Yeah.
The actual complete CG shots were pretty good. There was also some pretty good practical stuff. We thought that there were like real set buildings that were being exploded. Very convincing explosions.
Because a few of them looked real. Like they actually genuinely looked real
definitely.
when they blew up.
Yeah, and I'm sure that the people in the scenes were put in. But the actual building explosions looked really
genuine.
good.
Yeah.
Things flying all over the place. One thing I've meant to say about this film and forgot is that this film came out in 1999, and that is one of my favourite years for films because you've got such classics as The Matrix, 99.
Oh yes.
Banger of a film. Started the whole thing. You got The Mummy with Brendan Fraser in it.
Yeah.
That's
classic.
A fantastic film.
One of my grandmother's favourites.
Mate, one of my favourites. I absolutely love it. I recently bought the 4K trilogy box set of it.
Very nice.
Just so I can keep watching it. Like, even though they've got like that on Sky, I just so I can watch it.
Have it digitally. Have it physically.
Just in case the apocalypse comes.
Yeah, man. And I gotta grab one thing. I'm grabbing the Mummy box set 4K. Leaving the TV behind and all that.
In the safe, like screw everything else.
Like classic, and like just so many other films, so many films that really like pushed boundaries in different ways. And speaking of The Matrix, bit of trivia, and I thought that this was like well known but not like super known. It was actually the number one on the trivia on IMDb apparently. Will Smith turned down the role of Neo, which I'm pretty sure was written for him, to star in this.
What?
Because he thought that this would be his big thing.
Wow.
Oh God.
The Matrix, like. You know,
Yeah, that made that was amazing.
Like
Such a
apparently
good
it was made for it.
Yeah.
And he was like, no thanks. Wild Wild West.
I've already got the song recorded for this one.
Yeah.
No, I just think that's mad.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Apparently, though, he says that it's his, it's like his biggest career mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
think of how much would be different. Although I'm glad that it went the way it did, being a massive Keanu Reeves fan.
Yeah.
So I'm glad, but Will Smith had some good stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, it didn't really hurt his career that badly, did it?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched his last few things. He's done the what's he even been in recently?
There was that one about him, and he's got some kind of twin. No, it's a clone.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch that. It's oh, I know what you mean. He's got that younger version of himself who's like chasing him down.
Yeah,
and
they're
stuff.
both killers, and they're trying.
Oh, like Gemini. No?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
So
Nice.
I didn't watch that because that film apparently had. It's one of these films that's like completely shot in 4K and whatnot, and because of that, oh no, it's got a really high frame rate. That's it, and because of that, the frame rate looks awful. Like in all the scenes where there's like action, something moving really fast, it just looks so unreal.
Yeah.
It makes for some reason the higher frame rate. I should know this, but the higher frame rate makes the CGI like look worse.
Yeah.
I don't know if either of you guys saw The Hobbit, any of the Hobbits in the cinemas when they came out.
Not in the cinema.
No.
In the cinema, they were shown in 48 frames per second, so everything just looked a bit weird and smooth. And like I remember saying, because back then I had a really bad YouTube channel where I would like talk about films, and I remember giving The Hobbit a terrible review. Even though I love it now, it's dear to my heart. I gave it a really bad review, and part of it was because with that frame rate you could see like the edges of prosthetics, you could see like all the imperfections, and the CG looked like crap, you know.
Yeah. Also on the subject of like CG, it was really strange that scene when they're shining the light, like big device light behind the dead guy who just from the beginning's head.
What was that about?
And then it was to get. They were saying how you can get a picture of your the last thing you saw from the back of your eye, and you like shined it through the back of his head, like onto a wall, and then you like put the glasses on him and enhanced the picture, and it was like
so he had the dead guy's head, and he had it in like a specially built contraption where he had the back of the dude's head open with like a light source going through it, projecting the supposed last image,
no image before you've died.
Yeah, before you've died of what this guy saw, but like that was almost like I thought it was slapstick because it was so stupid kind of thing.
Yeah, because in reality, one thing that doesn't make sense though is the fact that when it happened, when he died, it was like say a minute or two before he got like decapitated by the blade. So wouldn't the last image have been the blade, not the guy?
I thought that the last image was almost like a photo of a dude holding a blade.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was like,
but like
Perfect
it was
image.
a perfect image. Yeah, and we were thinking. It made us actually think for a sec. Like, wait, like, is that real?
Yeah.
But I'm fairly certain that's not a thing because, like I said, anyone who ever been murdered.
Well, just the fact that we thought, is it real? It makes it a lot more convincing than most of the shit in that movie.
Well, yeah, to be fair.
Also, one thing that doesn't make sense is the color that he used. The blade when the blade gets launched at it, it's like in reality, like because it wasn't open around his neck bit, it was sealed metal, bolted and everything. So it's like that wouldn't have gone through.
I think there was
that
a lot of
doesn't really
as
make
you
sense.
said, at this point of the film, the film's really gone off the rails.
Yeah.
They're bringing all sorts of crazy things in. One of which is like the blades are basically like at one point our two main characters have this weird head contraption thing on, and basically like the blades are chasing them, and like I remember this scene as well when I was a kid, and I remember thinking it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Watching it back, it's incredibly lame. It's basically like shots of these blades flying at like 60 plus. Gotta be. They're chopping through
Well, for
corn.
some scenes. Yeah. Other scenes at 6.
These things are chopping through corn. They're like circular saw blades.
Yeah, so long as the speed,
Slicing
they'll be
through
fast.
But our main characters are outrunning them.
Yeah, running through long, tall grass,
and there are
corn
even
as well.
shots of the main characters running that have been sped up, which then make it look funny, which takes you out of it, and you're sort of like, what is this?
How the hell they are running it? Like, doesn't make any sense. And then when they jump off like the cliff together and they collide with each other, they fall down, and then the blades combine. Their blades hit each other. Why do they explode?
Yeah, like that's something we noticed straight away.
Yeah.
It's like they had some sort of fuel supply or something. These blades.
Or like some like explosives on it. It's like how?
Yeah.
They're thin blades.
I think the filmmaker or the editors or animators or whatever at that point were like, nobody's really into that scene at the minute. Like, I'm just gonna put in a copy and pasted generic.
How can we spice this up a bit?
Yeah.
Let's put a little explosion in it.
They're like, we're just a little bit of a fan of Michael Bay.
Totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
There were other things that were unnecessary. There's a bit at the end where our main characters have basically managed to board this massive robot spider that the main villain's got. He's got the president hostage and everyone.
Yeah.
And Will Smith gets knocked down to the lower levels where he then has to fight the henchmen, basically. Although you've never seen them to this point.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, there's these guys who are all sort of like deformed and then like rebuilt with like steel and things. One of them's got blades for arms. One of them's got like a steel head
and chest.
And he's huge, and he's got a steel dick.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, yeah, another dick
strength.
joke from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super strength.
They have to fight. He has to fight all these guys, which is like just random, and the fighting's like pretty cheesy. There's only really a few shots in this film where they really nail the camera angles to like sell the punches.
Yeah.
Other than that, like I thought it was hammy the whole way through.
Oh yeah.
So I looked up a bit of trivia. This film, not surprisingly, won a lot of Razzies. I think it got like a clean sweep or something. For those of you who don't know, basically a Razzie is like it's like a big, the Oscars. It's like the anti-Oscars. It's for bad films.
Oh, that's
it's like
cool.
Nickelodeon's Presents or something.
Oh.
The Razzies, and it's famous for what they do is they invite the people there. 9 times out of 10 they don't show up. They invite the people there to receive the award, and then they gunk them. So like a few people famously quite a lot of people do it because it's in good sport, acknowledged.
It's good spirit,
Halle Berry did it after Catwoman.
Yeah.
Because that film was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Probably about 2004.
Yeah.
Fair play.
So this film won like a clean sweep or something. Like it won so many of them. I don't know if anyone actually went. I think Will Smith now would go, but I don't think 99 Will Smith would take a joke like that.
No.
A bit more self-conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also read that because this film is based off of a TV show, like an old-fashioned TV show, it's like sort of like a reboot. Reboots. They were a thing back then, but they weren't like that acknowledged.
Yeah.
Apparently, Mel Gibson and Tom Cruise, both obviously at like different times, were signed on to star in this film. I think it then said that like Mel Gibson went on to be in a film called Maverick, and Tom Cruise went on to be in Mission Impossible. So you're talking.
So he made a better deal.
So you're talking like
clearly.
about 1996, I think Mission Impossible is. So this film was in development for a while, by the sounds of it.
He made the good decision, and Will Smith made the bad decision.
They definitely made. I think it was the best decision for everyone because if Tom Cruise hadn't have done Mission Impossible,
yeah.
I don't know what you guys think of the Mission Impossible movies.
Imagine if Will Smith was in.
I love the first
Mission
one.
Impossible.
I really like a lot of them. I know that they turned to cheese for the last 3 or whatever, but I really like them. Tom Cruise is just the ultimate performer.
Yeah.
Will do anything, to get that shot. Like,
Yeah, he's
even
awesome.
if it means being an absolute dickhead or something. Did you hear recently he shouted at a load of his crew because they weren't
Not
wearing masks
surprised.
or something?
Oh yeah, that's something about that.
And I heard recently that Mission Impossible 7 or 8, I don't know which one, whichever
There's
one is
plenty
coming
of
out.
them.
Whichever
A lot
one's
of them.
coming out next has been
Sure.
delayed because the crew's got coronavirus or something.
Oh,
So,
That's it.
but yeah, you wouldn't have had all those films. Mel Gibson, to be fair, like it probably would have done all right back in '99. He's done some good things, but like one of my favourite films is the Mad Max Road Warrior, Mad Max 2, and all the Mad Max films.
Yeah.
So I really like Gibson. He gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
But I don't know what he was doing in '99. It probably would have done him good to be in more like comedies and things like that. Because he's great. He's great at the comedy, but he doesn't really, he's a bit he's getting a bit washed up. He's got some not great opinions on certain groups of people that we're not going to get into. And he just messed his own career up really.
Never seen Braveheart.
Never seen Braveheart?
I've never seen it.
Won a lot of awards, man. It's good.
Yeah, I heard so. But
There's quite a lot of shitty Scottish accents, but apart from that, it's pretty good, man. Yeah, you should watch it. Not entirely accurate, but like enjoyable.
Yeah.
If I remember right, it's quite long though.
Yeah, one of the reasons I haven't seen it.
Yeah, worth a watch, man. I don't know if I think he may have directed that as well, or something. Like, it's a good film. So as always, when we get to the end of the podcast, what we do is we give our ratings. We give a little, basically, Robbo, we give a little like sort of summary, what we thought. Then we give it a number out of 10.
Sure.
Dude, what stars, but no points. T-Lad, what do you reckon, bro? Go for it.
To be honest, I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10. Just a half and half, because my main reason is acting wasn't that bad.
No, I mean
CGI wasn't that bad.
Will Smith's not a bad actor. Those guys not
yeah,
bad actors.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Selma Hayek.
And because as soon as it came to like halfway, that was like when like the giant mecha spider, and it was just going a bit weird then. So I feel like it's like halfway through the film it was interesting and sometimes parts and stuff like that. But the other half it was just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm giving it a half rating.
That's fair enough.
5 out of 10.
Fair enough. 5 out of 10. Robbo, mate.
I'd probably say 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Nice one.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the sound effects were pretty good.
Oh yeah,
throughout
definitely. We were cracking up at some of those, like I don't know, Hollywood punch sound effects.
Yeah.
Like someone slapping a ham or something.
Yeah, definitely add to the comedy. You don't see much of that these days.
No.
Yeah, I thought the acting was good as well. Yeah.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
That's fair. I think I'm going to give this a... I'm trying to think of what I gave some of the other ones now. I'm trying to think about being fair and everything.
Yeah.
I think it deserves a 4 or a 5. I'm going to give it a 4 because you gave it a 5.
Yeah.
I think it's not terrible. It's bad.
Yeah.
But it's got some strong acting. It's got some like good power. Like
scenes.
As in actors. You've got like some real decent people in there. It's just a bit confused. It's like it doesn't really know what it wants to do. The pacing's a little bit off. I mean, a lot of it's pretty good. But like we were saying, the costume department, the fashion, all that. Like, to be fair, if I was like judging the Oscars or something that year, I would make sure that this film got an Oscar nomination. For the costumes, because they were cool.
Yeah.
But like, that's basically the high point of the film, So I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty good. Nice. Good rating.
Yeah. So guys, this week we've watched Wild Wild West. Robbo, our good friend, brought it in.
Yeah.
We watched
for bringing it in.
We got through it. It was good. Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah. So if you want to get in touch with us, you can send us an email to dudewutpodcast@gmail.com. Send us a suggestion, anything, something to watch.
You can hit up the Instagram as well.
Yeah, hit us up on Instagram @dudewutpodcast. Share it out. I don't know. Comment on us. Like I said earlier, we've now got this Speakpipe. We've now got Speakpipe. Go to www.speakpipe.com/dudewhatpodcast, capital D, capital P. If you do that, you can then send us a voice message and we'll feature it, basically. We'll play you out on this. So ask us a question or whatever.
Yeah. Also check out the YouTube channel.
Check out the YouTube channel. We're struggling to edit those, but they will be going out. hopefully. So yeah, check that out, guys. Share it, subscribe, do what you can.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
Anything helps.
Yeah. So, mate, I think we've all nailed it.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
I've been Harry Dowling.
I've been Tomo.
I've been Robbo.
And that's the end of another episode. We'll see you next week, guys. Take it easy.
Bye bye.
Dude, what?
Dude, what?